Hey everyone, welcome. We're about to dive into the biggest financial market on the entire planet. And you know what's crazy? You've probably already been a part of it and you didn't even know. So, what is Forex trading really? Okay, let me just ask you this. Have you ever packed your bags, jumped on a plane, and gone to visit another country? So, if you said yes, then get this. You've already played in the Forex market. Seriously. The moment you took a trip, let's say from the US over to Italy, and you swapped your dollars for euros, boom, you just made a foreign exchange transaction. That's it. You were in the game. And that one simple move, swapping some cash for your vacation, connects you to the single biggest market in the entire world. Let's really try and wrap our heads around the sheer scale we're talking about here. Okay, brace yourself for this number. The average daily trading volume in the Forex market is a mind-blowing $6.6 trillion. Yeah, not million, not billion, trillion with a T. Every single day. And to really put that into perspective, just look at this comparison. The entire US stock market, the one we hear about on the news 24/7, it turns over maybe $250 billion a day. The Forex market, it's more than 26 times bigger. You could combine all the world's stock markets and they wouldn't even come close. It's just massive. So what is this thing officially? Well, the foreign exchange market, or Forex for short, is what we call a decentralized global marketplace. That means there's no central building, no New York Stock Exchange for currencies. Instead, it's just this huge, invisible electronic network. It connects all the big players, the major banks, giant international companies, governments, and individual traders just like you and me. So why is all this cash flying around the globe? Well, it boils down to a few key reasons. You've got commerce, right? A company like Apple needing to pay its employees in Japan. You've got tourism, that's your vacation we talked about. And then you've got speculation. This is our world. This is where traders jump in, trying to make a profit from the way these currency values are constantly bouncing around. And it's that volatility, that constant movement, that makes it such an incredible opportunity. And that brings us to one of the coolest, most unique things about Forex. Unlike pretty much every other market out there, this one, well, it never really sleeps. This really shows you the difference in a nutshell. Stock markets, they've got a central location and they've fixed hours. A bell rings to start, a bell rings to close. End of story. But Forex, it's a totally different beast. It's a global network that just keeps on running 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. It only ever really takes a break for the weekend. So how is that even possible? Simple. The market literally follows the sun around the planet. Trading kicks off in Sydney, then it moves over to Tokyo for the Asian session. As Asia winds down, it gets handed off to London, and then finally over to New York. Now here's the pro tip. That moment when the London and New York sessions overlap for a few hours, that's when the magic happens. That's when you see the most action, the highest volume, and the biggest, wildest price swing. All right, so we get it. The market is huge, and it's always on. But what's the point for someone like you, an individual trader? What are you actually trying to do in this gigantic global game? To put it as simply as possible, Forex trading is the business of buying and selling money. You are literally buying one country's currency while simultaneously selling another's. And you're doing it all with one goal in mind, to profit, because you believe the one you bought is going to get stronger compared to the one you sold. The best way to think about it is like a giant global eBay for money. Your one and only job as a trader is to buy a currency when it's on sale, when its value is low, and then sell it back to the market later for a higher price. The difference between what you paid and what you sold it for, that's your profit. Sounds pretty simple in theory, doesn't it? But that leads us to the real trillion-dollar question, doesn't it? If the goal is just buy low, sell high, how in the world do you know when a currency is actually low? In a market that's changing every single second, how do you figure out its true value? And here's the thing, there's no single magic answer. There are 1,000 different ways to succeed in this market. The specific method you choose, your personal strategy for answering that buy low, sell high question, that is what we call your trading edge. It's your unique advantage in the market. So how do you actually build this edge? Well, it's not about finding some secret indicator or a magical formula. It really all boils down to mastering 4 fundamental, and I want to stress this, totally learnable skills. Okay, these are the 4 pillars you need to build your trading house on. Number 1, understanding human behavior, because you have to remember that behind every tick up or down on that chart are the real emotions of millions of traders, fear and greed. Number 2, understanding basic mathematical probabilities. And don't worry, you don't need to be a math genius for this. It's just about putting the odds in your favor. Third, pattern recognition, just training your eyes to spot repeating patterns in the chaos of the price charts. And finally, and this might be the most important one of all, mastering your own emotions. Can you stay calm and stick to your plan when the pressure is on? And that, right there, is the whole game. Mastering these 4 skills is how you're going to consistently find your edge and pull profit from this massive market. Look, it's not going to be easy, but it is a path that you can learn to walk. This is the journey that you are about to begin.